Welcome to the Glowing Through It podcast.
With me, Sophie.
And me, Lotta.
Where we're going to talk about motherhood, uni life, raising a baby, working in the performing arts industry, everything in between.
So, if you're looking for a sisterly chat, you found it.
Enjoy
the episode! Hi guys! Welcome to our first episode.
Technically not our first episode, but we had some trial runs.
Yeah, we filmed a couple, but we only want to put out the best content that we have, and we yap a lot, so we've been very organised. Well, you have.
I have,
You made a
you
fantastic
can't take
list.
any credit for that.
You made a fantastic list, so we actually stay on topic. So this is going to be a very, very great episode.
It's going to be to the point.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Fingers
Okay.
crossed. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your listening. Just a quick little disclaimer. Our mics somehow didn't connect properly for this episode, so you probably will hear some background noise, but hopefully this isn't too distracting, and we'll try to make sure we fix this for future episodes. I hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast.
So I feel like in this episode we're just going to introduce ourselves and the podcast and why we started it, and just go from there.
Yes.
That's okay, isn't it?
Yes, it's an introduction episode.
Okay,
Got
so
us.
the first thing that we wanted to talk about was the podcast name, which I personally love.
Yeah.
I really love the name.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just sums us up as well. Like, it's very, I don't know, we just...
It just makes sense. You know when you just know
Yeah.
about something. You just know.
Yeah,
And
I
one
think-
day we'll get it in lights.
Yeah, we are going to get a
One
neon
day,
light
if you
sign.
stay tuned.
Yeah, so basically the thought behind the name was that it's a play on words with going through it.
which we always are. So
Yeah, we are always
that's
going
probably
through
one
it.
of the reasons why
There's
it's
always
worth it.
something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because the stuff that we're talking about is mostly going to be about like the challenges in our respective lives and like
Big
paths.
word alert. Respective lives.
Yeah, but
Well, we're just a chaotic family anyway. No,
we are a bit, yeah, but that is the gist of what we're going to be talking about, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's an overview of what we're going through.
Yay!
Yeah.
Whilst glowing.
Yeah, whilst glowing,
We glow
exactly.
through things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so shall I introduce myself?
Can I just say one thing? When I was editing all these previous videos we've tried to make, the amount of times Sophie will go, so... Okay, let's... And it's like the biggest fat gap ever.
But you can't criticise that because that is literally my baby brain is like trying to process everything and think about what the next thing is that I need to say.
It's just so funny.
And
Anyway.
I'm trying to filter through a million things in my head. So it just takes it, I'm just buffering for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, we'll both be talking about our own experiences in this podcast. So I'll be talking about like going through pregnancy, postpartum, and becoming a mother. So wholesome.
Yeah.
And a few other things as well, like the fact that my partner works away a lot, so
Bless his cottons.
yeah, such a hard life. But yeah, so it obviously makes my experience with postpartum and with new motherhood different.
Yeah. I feel like also because he's away for long periods at a time, it's like almost like being a single mother, but you're not.
Yeah,
I don't know, that's your experience, not mine.
yeah. I think my support systems reflect the support systems that a single mother would have.
Yeah. Obviously when he's back it's different, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've got all of that going on.
Yeah.
I'm sort of going to talk about my life as a student. I'm graduating this year, got 1 year left. No, I actually don't want to leave. It's really, really scary. But I am studying a degree in dance and musical theatre. So, so like, it'll be about being a student, but also about the performing arts industry, auditions, stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like we've got very, from an outside perspective, kind of different extremes of the scale in terms of what our lives look like. But I think because we're sisters and because of the way we operate, we end up with similar problems.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely. Yeah.
So that's kind of, we're just kind of linking the two, we're just chatting, and we hope that anybody listening or watching or whatever feels like they can relate in some way or be part of the conversation.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that we wanted to talk about in this episode as well, is that one of the reasons why we're doing this is just to, I don't know, be relatable to people, and like maybe if we get enough listeners, if anyone's actually interested, like have a little community where people actually feel heard, and you know, both of our experiences and the ways that our lives are heading at the moment, it can be quite lonely.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just important to know that you're not on your own, I think.
I think for me personally as well, making the link between problems that you find as a performer in the creative industry, like finding the link between that and motherhood, because I don't know if other people feel this way. I'm assuming at least some do. Let us know down below. But I feel like it's so hard to see how I'm going to fit in creating my family in the future as a performer. Like, I don't see how that will fit in anywhere. And so being able to link that for us, I'm sure there's people out there who understand both elements of both of our lives. So
yeah, definitely.
I think that'll be, I don't think I see much of that really.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's exciting.
And then obviously our age gap as well, that we're quite close in age.
Yeah, there's only 2 years between us.
But our stages of life are so different.
Yeah, it is crazy. When I found out that Sophie was pregnant, I was like, whoa, you're old. There was a minute, I don't know if you felt it, there's a minute where I was like, oh, I can't speak to her anymore because she's a mum.
Yeah.
She's an adult. She's like, because I was in first year of uni when I found out.
Yeah.
So I was at that very new stage, like the first time you've moved out, the first time doing everything.
Yeah, and you're
then
going out and meeting new friends, and everything's about like...
It was the first taste of being independent, like truly independent.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'm pregnant. I was like, ooh.
She's starting a family.
Yeah. But that lasted very brief.
Yeah, I did feel that as well.
Yeah. It just took a minute.
Yeah, but I think we've got used to it very quickly.
Yeah, but I have trouble processing things because I still have moments where I look at you and am I allowed to say his name?
Yeah.
Yoa. I look at you and Yoa and like I just think, oh my god, you have a son. Like, why do you literally have a child? It's crazy. Yeah. It is crazy.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot. And I don't think I'll fully process it until he starts speaking. And I think it's sort of sinking in now because he's started, like, he'll be playing and then he'll come over to me and give me a cuddle and then he'll go back to playing, and it's just like, okay, he knows that I'm his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but like, I don't know, it's just different because they say like when babies are first born, they can tell who their mum is by smell and stuff, and also by hearing your voice and things like that. But now I just feel like he's actually consciously acknowledging the fact that I'm his mum, and like, and when he comes over to give me a hug, it's almost like he's been busy doing something else, and then he sees me and he's like, oh, that's my mum, and then like goes and gives me a hug, and then he just like gets distracted by something else. Like whenever he realizes that I'm there, he just wants to like quickly come and give me a hug. And I just think it's so sweet, but it's the first time that he's actually, I don't know, acknowledging that.
Yeah. Well, but also I feel like when I'm saying like, oh, it's weird that like you've got a child, not weird, but like I find it really hard to process still. But I think that's the element of the fact that you guys are living with us as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll actually talk about that in more depth from your point of view and my point of view later on. But just for reference, Sophie's living in our family home, like we're all living all together.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like he's just added on to our existing family, rather than, I feel like if you were living in in your own house or whatever, it would feel like you've started your own family. You've started a separate family. But because you live with us, I'm like, oh my god, he's just added on to our family.
I think also because I didn't see you guys very much whilst I was pregnant, so you didn't see that whole like development and me getting ready for having the baby and stuff. And it was just sort of like, okay, now I need more help, I'm gonna move home, and all of a sudden you guys have got a baby in the house. But you didn't have that whole build up to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely plays a part too. Like, for me, I obviously didn't think that we would be staying with you guys for that long, but I was getting everything ready to have a baby and like live separately from you guys. So everything that I was preparing was all going to be independent from you anyway. So I think that makes it weird to process as well, because it was never the plan.
Yeah.
And it does just feel like he's sort of slotted in, because there weren't ever really that many preparations in the family home to welcome a baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't like in the last few weeks, okay, let's get the cot ready, let's make a nursery. There was nothing like that. But that was all going on in my home, but it wasn't going on for you. So
well, I mean, I was at uni anyway, so
yeah.
even if it was, I would be none the wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have very different perspectives on things anyway.
It's just interesting. I feel like we either are like complete opposites on something, or we're the exact same. I feel.
Yeah.
And I think with our age gap, or like lack of a gap, it's just quite interesting.
I think our perspectives on our age gap is very different as well, because I, growing up, always felt like I was way older than you, like...
But I always felt like you were way older than me as well.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't... Sorry, interrupting.
Sorry.
I need to hold back.
I always got the impression that you felt like we were the same, and so I had to...
Girl!
So I had to, like, make it clear that, you know, you're not as old as me, and therefore you're less than me.
We might be like adults now, but you were still my older sister when we were younger. Like it wasn't all fun and games. There was arguments, there was hair pulling, there was shouting.
I'm sorry, the hair pulling came from you though. It wasn't me pulling your hair.
Yeah, but you give me a reason to.
No, I think growing up we definitely were not as close as we are now.
No.
Or maybe it was our closeness that made us hate each other. Can I say that? Hate?
Maybe
we did.
I really hope that's not irritating the mic. It keeps touching my face. So let's hope it's not like... Sorry. What?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely used to hate each other.
Oh yeah. I remember having these conversations with mum and with our grandparents, like because our mum has a sister as well, and I remember one of our grandparents, as in her parents, saying to me, like, it was just the same with them two, like, your mum and her sister were at each other's throats,
so close
and
now.
they are so close now. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I hate her. Never, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like,
she's
that's
so
never
annoying,
gonna
like, that's
happen.
never gonna be me. And then you get older and you're like, oh.
I think it was when I went to uni, when I left the
think
house.
the transition stage was you getting your driver's license and you turning 18. So, like, oh, I probably shouldn't promote this on here, but obviously, like, I would ask you to buy me alcohol and stuff like house parties before I turned 18. So, like, and you could drive me places.
Yeah.
So, like, the minute you got that independence, I was like, oh, I want it too. And then when you went to uni, because we weren't living together, it was like, we can be friends. And then I was making that same journey as you, like, being 17, 18, like, yeah, I do think that is the point where you become a bit more grown up and you're like, oh, what's the point in arguing? I mean, we do still argue, but...
We do still argue. And
That's
sometimes I
inevitable.
think, like, oh my god, would she just shut up? And I'm sure you think that about me as well.
Yeah,
But
because if
I
there's
think-
one thing we've learned in our family is every single person in our family wants to have the last word.
Definitely.
Oh my god.
You more than me with that, though. I think I find it easier to walk away.
Let's not have an argument right now.
But yeah, no, we definitely, like, there's so many parts of us growing up where when I look back on it now, it's like that was really not okay. From my point of view, let me give an example. You know when we used to share a room
Yeah.
and we had bunk beds, and I knew, like, this was literally me being just horrible to you. I knew
Yeah.
that, do you need to sneeze?
I do, but it's not going to come, so just carry on.
Okay.
I'm just suffering silence.
I knew how badly you wanted to, like, fit in with me and, like, do stuff with me.
Yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
yeah, and I basically used that as power. And so I made we obviously both know this, but I created like a nightclub on my bunk.
But can I just say, looking back, I've only just thought about this. This bunk bed, it was a double bed on the bottom,
Yeah.
and the top was a single bed, and somehow you made it feel like the top was the cool one. Looking back, I'm like, I was starfishing in this massive double bed, and I was like, I want to get on the top one. I want to be like, why? I had this massive, you had this tiny single bed at the top with like a little shelf,
Yeah, I know, but
which
my-
I then inherited when Robin,
Yeah, but I think part of having the top bunk is like you can look down on the rest of the room. Like I was
Yeah.
looking down on you. I was
and
like,
you get more privacy
yeah,
because
definitely.
people can't look down on you because you're up there, so you can
Yeah.
do what you want.
Yeah, and it was my space, whereas like I was always coming through your space to get to mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had this like secret nightclub. I even had like a poster for it. But if I said that it was not, like, if I allowed you into the club, bearing in mind there was only us two, if I said, okay, I've had enough now, you had to get out because it was my bed.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, I definitely used that against you. The amount of times where I wanted to like chat with you, and obviously we didn't want to go to bed yet, we were supposed to be asleep. But then if you said something that annoyed me, I could just kick you out.
Yeah.
That gave me a lot of power.
And I would beg.
as a kid.
I would beg.
Yeah, you would.
Please, what, can I do something, please? Please, I just want to
I
stay.
promise I
Have
won't
fun.
say anything.
Oh, also for reference, Sophie's obviously the eldest. I'm a middle child. That's going to
Yeah.
become obvious when, like, with my personality anyway, but I do have middle child syndrome. We have a younger sister with a bigger age gap than us.
Yeah, she's a lot younger than us.
Yeah, she's like, quite a bit younger than us. But yeah.
You definitely have middle child.
Oh my god,
energy.
massively. Although, slight sidetrack, even though we're supposed to stay on the list, I'm really sorry. Just a little story. recently, people have been telling me that there was some people at uni who I'd not really didn't really know that well before, and then we had our show term and spoke more, and I made a comment about being the middle child of two sisters, all girls house, do you know what I mean? Our dad's literally got a t-shirt that says dad of girls #outnumbered. So yeah, it's a very girly house, you know what I mean, and I'm the middle child. And someone was like, wait, Lotta, you have sisters? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, I swear I thought you would have had brothers. They thought I would be the youngest with older brothers. And I was like...
Really?
And someone else was like, no, I thought she was an only child. And I was like, oh! Wow. I was really shocked because I'm just surrounded by girls. It's not like I have one brother and one sister. I was like, what am I giving off that gives that impression? But I do think I'm the designated boy out of the three of us.
Yeah, although I do more activities, especially when we were growing up. I used to help dad with DIY around the house and stuff a lot more than you
Yeah,
did.
but we're really gender stereotyping all these activities.
Yeah, we are.
But dad couldn't do his passions with a son. He had to do it with one of us. So I would go fishing with him all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I think we did
And
split it.
I was less of a I was fine with the gory stuff. When we went fishing and caught one, you'd be like, get that away from me right now, and I'd be like,
there's one picture
yeah,
where Lotta and I stood next to each other, next to the lake that we're fishing in, or the reservoir, whatever it is, and Lotta's holding this fish that's still alive, obviously.
Slimy.
They've just caught it, and she's holding it, big smile on her face, so proud that you've caught it, and I'm stood next to you, just turning away and scrunching my face because I'm so disgusted by this fish.
Yeah.
It's not even dead. It was alive.
It was slimy. That kind of makes it worse, Loki.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel I just felt more boyish compared to you guys, and I'm gonna put a stereotype out there that I don't back at all. But I did football when I was younger for ages. They put me straight into football.
Yeah.
And I would wear shorts, culottes to school. I wouldn't wear a skirt. I know this is all I'm not trying to, but you know what I
Do you
mean.
think
I
it's
just felt I
because-
had more masculine energy than you guys growing up. You learn how, I guess this is part of being the older sister. You learn how to do all these hairstyles and makeup, and you can do nails and you can do all this stuff. I still can't plait my hair. All I can do is a ponytail. I still can't plait my hair. That's partly me being incapable because you were always there to do it for me. But
But
I
do you
don't know.
think...
You're a lot more presentable than I am as well. I'm a bit more rough. I think that's just me.
Because I'm just thinking now that you're saying all of that, a few of your friends, especially your closest friends, as a young child, were younger sisters of brothers.
Oh, so wait.
So maybe you sort of did the hobbies that they were doing because their older brothers did football, so they went into football, and you went into football because you were friends with them.
Wow.
Do you think
that
maybe
baby
that-
brain is working double time right now?
Yeah. But
That is so
yeah, I kind
true.
of, because when you were saying that, I was thinking, but all of your friends were doing it as well, so
Yeah. Wow. That is crazy.
yeah.
Not the girls can't do football.
No,
Love
definitely
girls
not.
football. But as a child, when you're that young, it feels like a boy thing, doesn't it? Because of the way the world is.
Yeah, and I think
So-
the friends that I had when I was younger didn't necessarily, they weren't into football or really any sporty things.
Yeah, I ended up being in quite a sporty friendship group. So
Yeah, I think that's where the main difference is, isn't it?
I guess that's just society telling us that sporty women are more masculine, which is not true.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, not to get too controversial in the introduction
No.
episode. Let's get back to the list before I chat more about stuff that's unnecessary.
Okay, so I think
Ah,
now we should probably mention why we started the
yes.
podcast. Do you want to explain?
You go for it, you know?
Okay. So basically, Lotta and I were on a FaceTime call, as we quite often are, when Lotta's at uni because you like to see Yoa and
Yeah, I don't want to see her. I just want to see Yoa.
yeah, and sometimes I use it to my advantage and I just put him in his high
Keep him
chair
distracted
and
with me.
you can chat to him and he properly zones in on you when you're gossiping to him. He just loves the
He's
gossip.
my favourite person to gossip to. If there's something that's like stressing me out or annoying me at uni or like whatever, or someone's done something like controversial, like I just need to tell Yoa.
Yeah.
Because he will lock in. He can't speak, but he's like
Yeah, I think
I used to do it all the time in his nappy changes when he used to change nappies, remember? I'd be like, look, right, here is the tea. This is what's going on right now. You like, do you know what I mean?
I think it's because you're so animated when you're talking about things that you're passionate about, which obviously gossip is one.
Yep.
But yeah, so we were on a FaceTime call and we were just chatting as usual, and I think I don't know how we came onto the conversation, but we were sort of saying that you need to build your portfolio and things like that, and like...
Well, you made a comment, like, around, again, I don't know what conversation led to it, but, like, you made a comment about, like, how you could see... I think we were talking about how Yoa listens when I, like, say stories.
Yeah, maybe.
And you made a comment about how you'd been thinking and you thought I'd be great as a radio host.
Yeah.
Because the way that I talk is, like,
I think
interesting.
the
I don't know.
conversation maybe was about different options for your career, because obviously
Yeah.
dance is a very difficult career to get into, and there's so many dancers, so
Yes.
yeah, so I think maybe that was part of the conversation as well, that we were trying to think of different careers that you could go into with the degree that you have.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously you said about, like, you could see me being a radio host because I can just yap all day long, like, honestly. And then we started talking about podcasts. I listen to quite a few podcasts, and I don't know, maybe you do as well.
I do. I listen to Diary of a CEO all the time.
I listen to The Girls' Bathroom. Oh my god, favourite podcast ever. I listened to it since I was like 14, so
Yeah.
they've been going for so long, and like they're just my favourite in the whole wide world, so maybe one day we'll get to meet them.
Maybe that's where that like shows our different vibes as well, because mine's very like business orientated and getting other people in
they're
business
like Agni
perspective.
Arts. They help you with a dilemma. But also, like, one of them, she's really into like reading and like stuff like that. Which, oh my god, one fact about me, I'm a massive book nerd.
Yeah.
I am currently 62 books into the year.
Wow.
My aim was to read 50. I've upped it to 75. Yeah, I'm a massive Goodreads warrior. I just love reading. I'm just obsessed with it. Like, yeah, it's a bit of a geek. But then the other girl in The Girls' Bathroom, she's really into like her matcha and like little collectible like trinkets and stuff like that. Like the little, you know, me and Robin were doing blind bags on holiday. Like opening little blind bags of like Sunny Angels. Do you know what those are? And she has like a massive Jellycat collection. They are literally two halves of me.
They are, yeah, that sounds exactly like you.
Matcha, reading, Jellycat.
Yeah.
Anyway, just massively plugged there.
Yeah.
Podcast lol.
Yeah, so when we were talking about the fact that that you'd be a good radio host / podcast host, you also mentioned obviously that I was just starting my my little small business called the Afterglow Co. And we were just brainstorming that wouldn't it be so fun if we started a podcast and it was all about the Afterglow Co. And
which is why the word glow was quite important for
Yeah.
us to include in the title.
yeah, and then you would sort of be the presenter and be interviewing me, and then while we were talking about it, it sort of didn't make sense to just focus on my life because yours is so significant as well and almost our sister dynamic, it would be a shame not to involve both of us in it. And I think our conversations would be much more interesting when we're talking about both of our lives and sort of how they stand across from each other.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah. And also, we just have such massive deep conversations, like, randomly, like, because obviously I'm not home much when I'm at uni. Obviously for summer I've been home a bit, but when I'm at uni I come home maybe once a month, maybe once every month and a half, sometimes 2 months. This year, who knows, I might never come back. But when I do come back, I feel like just somehow randomly at some point when I'm back for the weekend, we'll just have a massive 2-hour long conversation about something really deep. And yeah, I just think
it just feels worth sharing, because obviously there must be so many people who can relate to it. And we do quite often talk about sort of sensitive things.
Yeah, things that I think should be normalised.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly.
This is the way to do it. Also, not to sound vain, but like a podcast with two sisters talking about like the things we're talking about, so the performing arts industry, being a young mum, like starting your own business, like talking about being sisters and like our opinions on stuff, giving advice on things, whatever, sounds like something I would listen to. Do you know what I mean? Not to sound vain, but like I feel like I would want to listen to that.
Yeah.
Like I love the yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main message from our whole podcast, isn't it? To just make people feel more seen and talk about our own experiences in the hopes that it can maybe help someone else or make someone else feel like they're not alone.
Yeah. And like open up conversations about things.
Yeah.
Make people, when people need a sisterly chat, you know, if you can't chat with your sister for whatever reason or you don't have one, just come chat with us.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're so open to like suggestions if there's anything specific people want us to cover. Obviously once you get to know us, like if you're like, I really want to know what she thinks about this, or like whatever, or I'm having this problem, like have you guys experienced this? You know, maybe there's like a new mum experience you're having, I don't know. I probably won't be able to say anything, but
you might be able to, because we've spoken about a lot of things.
Yeah, but like input from people who are listening or watching would be like so appreciated as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that leads us quite well into what sort of things we'll talk about in future episodes.
Yes.
So I think this, obviously we've already highlighted like the vibe of our episodes, that it's very casual, you know, we're just two sisters having a chat,
just chilling on the sofa.
Yeah.
Guys, also we got this, oh my god, I literally am the one who gets us sidetracked.
Yeah.
Sophie got this. Every time I say we got this, Sophie probably got it because yeah, she's my sugar mommy. She's got this really cute jar. By the next time you see us, this will be full of biscuits or some sort of snack.
Yeah.
I'm determined to be like that family on Gogglebox who has snacks on the table. Like, I'm determined.
Yeah. And they have a different snack
every time. It's a different snack.
Yeah.
The only thing I won't be able to copy is that they never touch it.
Yeah.
I'll be munching throughout, I fear. I will.
We might have to take a snack break because no one wants to hear you chewing in your mic. Anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Some of the things that we'll be talking about will be like mental health. Probably that's a big thing.
Massive.
In both of our lives at the moment, because obviously I'm going through postpartum, so there's loads of mental health impacts with that, and just getting used to having a new baby and like you're not living for yourself anymore, you're living to keep another person alive, and then obviously you as well, being in the performing arts industry can be really, really heavy on your mental health, can't it?
Yeah, Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, it's only gonna get worse from here, because from this year, during this year and from this year onwards is when the rejections start. Like, I've not done a proper audition for a job yet, but from now that starts, and all you ever get told is there are so many no's before you get a yes, and you just have to take it on the chin and not take it personally. And do you know what I mean? And there's going to be a lot of thick skin growing that I'll have to go through. But also, I struggled a lot towards the end of my second year. I know everyone says, like, for any uni course as well, like, the second year blues are real, which is so true, and I especially got it towards the end of the year. But, like, how overwhelmed you can get with, there's so many different projects going on, and I've got to do coursework for this, and I've got to practice these songs, and I've got to record that self-tape, and I've got to do that, and I just got so overwhelmed. And it's just part of being a uni student, I guess, or living away from home, just not having any of my, like, home comforts, like, literally just being stuck in a room in, I was going to say the location of my uni, then maybe I shouldn't, far away from home, and like, yeah, it's, I don't know, I just can get really lonely in a very different way to how you feel lonely, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to manage that, or, like, see the light at the end of the tunnel sometimes, especially when it's paired with the industry, and, like, even just, like, I don't know, being amongst a cohort of people who are all graduating together and we're all going into the industry at the same time. There's a level, like, it's unavoidable comparing yourself to other people's success, other people's things that they do, and, like, trying so hard not to get competitive because it's your friends. Like, yeah, that is a lot. Yeah,
I think there'll be a lot to talk about around mental health. Also, body image.
Whoa, yeah,
is a huge thing for both of us at the moment.
Yeah, there's a big fat reason why I will always be wearing, like, baggy clothes or whatever, like, at home, at uni, more at uni than at home, but, like, to the point where our mum was like, I asked her to get me the Eats Franz joggers from Urban Outfitters, which, if you're a performer or a dancer, you'll probably know, you probably own a few pairs, and I asked for some for my birthday, like, last year or the year before. I already had some, but I wanted a different colour, and I was like, I need them size large, like, I need a large, because, like, I want that baggy fit, and I've tried them on in store, so, like, that's the size I want, that's the size of the one pair that I bought for myself, because I broke a bank for those joggers. And she was like, oh, can't I just get you a medium, just go a bit smaller, and I was like, no. She got me the medium. Obviously, it's fine, like, they fit great, but, like, I feel like that's such a big thing, like, that I've kind of deeped myself, that wearing, like, baggy clothes is so common in uni, because in all of our classes we're so, like, revealing, and oh my god, if you are not a performer or you've not trained or whatever, like, just imagine staring at yourself in a mirror for 5 to 6 hours a day in minimal clothing whilst exercising, like, sweating, and do you know what I mean, and analysing every single part of your body and, like, everything that you need to improve. Like, it is tough.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why, like, having body image issues and the dance industry go hand in hand. And yeah, I think being able to wear comfy clothes and, like, hide your body a little bit is very much a comfort that is quite common for dancers and, like, performers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's also cool. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just streetwear, just really cool.
Yeah, and then obviously my perspective is completely different to yours, because my body has massively changed. Yeah, and I think before I was pregnant, I never really appreciated that during pregnancy and even in postpartum, you have to buy a whole new wardrobe. Like, you're obviously spending lots of money on things for the baby and things like that, and it feels really unnatural to buy anything for yourself but you don't fit in any of your clothes anymore. And that's also a really hard thing to go through, and I think especially at the start of pregnancy, obviously I don't want to go into it too much because we will do an episode on this eventually, but yeah, I definitely had that feeling in the first few months, sort of like in the transition period between the first and the second trimester, and then like throughout the second trimester, where you almost don't really look pregnant yet. So you're like trying to wear things that hide your belly because you're bigger than you usually are, but to other people you wouldn't look pregnant, and you know that, so you don't want people to think that
you just get self-conscious about the
Yeah.
fact that you've got a bump that essentially looks bloated, but like
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
not that it's a bad thing at all, but to someone whose body's changing massively and all of the extra hormones that you have at the time, it's quite hard to then accept the fact that your body's changing and that you're getting bigger, and you do focus on other people's opinions and what they might think when
and
they
the fact
see
that
you.
once you've got a bigger bump, like it's obvious from the off, like
Yeah.
you don't have to explain anything.
Yeah, as soon as your bump pops, they say, you can just like relax a bit more, and you can wear clothes that like accentuate it
Yeah.
and draw attention to your bump, and you almost want people to notice it because it's so like it's so nice.
Bum, I thought. Me too. Sorry.
But yeah,
Sorry.
no. So I think body image is a massive thing that we can definitely
Yes,
speak
which
about.
we just went off on a tangent on.
Yeah.
When I say we, I mean me this time.
Other things that we'll probably talk about would be like the responsibilities that we both have in our lives that are obviously different to each other. So mine are all around the baby and baby routines and sterilising and when does he go to sleep and what does he need to eat and how often does he need milk, all of those things. And yours are obviously very, very different, but like you're saying about auditions and deadlines that you'll have at uni.
And I work part-time at uni.
And you work
well,
as
not
well.
in uni, but where I'm living at uni, I work in a theatre nearby.
Yeah. And we'll also be talking about things that we envision for ourselves in our careers maybe, and like challenges that
Cruise ship.
Yeah.
Finally.
and the challenges that come with those. And we'll be talking a lot about our own self-discovery, I think.
As it happens, goodness
Yeah.
me. Don't feel very discovered yet, but so wait for that frontal lobe to develop. Just a few more years.
And all of these things obviously come with funny experiences that we've had, funny stories, just things that we feel are worth sharing, or things that we've learned from our experiences as well that might make it easier for someone else who's maybe not gone through it but might go through it at some point in their
Yeah.
life.
Also, low-key, stuff that we go through where we're like, is there anyone else out there who's experienced
Yeah.
this? Because I need one of you to help me with this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll go both ways.
And we'll also mention our support systems a lot, because obviously both of us are very, very supported
Oh my god.
by our families and our friends and our partners, and everyone around us is super involved in our lives, I think.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to like hold back from gossiping about other people. Not in a horrible way, but the amount of times in previous like times we've recorded where I'm like, oh my god, yeah, and like this is what this other person, this happened to this other person, and this happened to our sister, and this happened to our and I'm like, let's keep it about me. I've not asked anyone if there's permission to say this. Like,
Yeah, we might have to have some conversations before.
Well, I think we need to discuss with our little sister as well to see whether how she feels about stuff and whether maybe she'll come on one time.
It would be nice to have her on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, she's in a massively different stage of her life to what we are, because obviously she's still at school, so yeah, very, very different. Her perspective is like, well, yeah, ours 7 years ago.
Yours 7 years ago.
Mine 7 years ago. Yours
Mine
5 years ago.
Yeah,
But
big up
that is-
GCSEs. Come on.
Yeah, that is. But it feels
Which I never
like,
did because of COVID.
It feels
Oh.
like ages ago.
Stop.
Yeah, and then we'll also along the way mention our coping strategies with obviously where we've said about mental health, body image, and I think we're both very lucky in the way that we haven't really been impacted by mental health problems or issues with our body image that heavily.
Not in as serious of a way that
No.
it could be.
No, but we definitely both have experiences that we can still talk on and like, that is still worth speaking about on the podcast. But I think there'll be a lot of other people who have experienced it to a much deeper degree than what we will have.
I almost just said Hundy P. One Hundy P.
Yeah,
I'm trying so hard to filter myself right now.
And I think it's important to know as well that we're very, very aware of what other people are going through, and that we're not saying that we can relate to everyone
or that everyone can relate to us.
No, exactly. It'll be a very small group of people that can relate specifically to both of us. I
was
think.
about to say there'll be a group of people who could relate to one of us. There'll be a smaller group of people who could potentially relate to both.
Yeah, and we're definitely not trying to put down anyone who can't relate. Obviously, like I think.
Oh my god! If you enjoy hearing about it,
exactly.
Any questions? Like you don't have to share any element of either of us to, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think in a way. A lot of women especially will go through some of the experiences that we've gone through at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
So I do think we are
just so relatable and like
but
interesting.
The content of our podcast will be it will resonate with a lot of people, I think. But obviously we're not trying to say like we know everything about everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is important. Like we do acknowledge that other people obviously have much more in-depth experiences with the things that we might be talking about. But we're just going to be touching on our personal experiences and maybe the experiences that we've seen people close to us go through, and how they've learned from it or come out the other side, or positive,
and how it felt as someone as part of their support system.
Yeah,
how to support them, because I think that's also a relatable thing, trying to figure out, like, navigate how you help the people you love if they're going through something.
Definitely,
you're their support.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that that explains quite well what we're going to go through.
Yeah. How much more of a list do we have?
We're sort of at the end now.
No way.
We are, yeah.
I feel accomplished.
Yeah, obviously we have a TikTok and Instagram account as well.
Yes,
we've
go
just
follow.
started. So, what's it called?
Yeah, you keep talking. I will find
it. We're not very good at posting
oh my god.
regularly at the moment, but hopefully when we start releasing our episodes, it'll be. Just search for. It'll either be the Glowing Through It podcast, or it'll just be Glowing Through It. I think
it is just Glowing Through It.
Yeah. Yeah, and our little logo is our pink and green speech bubbles. That is our colour scheme, by the way. It's pink and green.
It is glowing.through.it.podcast. I found the TikTok. It's at glowing.through.it.
Okay.
There you go. Please follow.
Yeah.
Please enjoy the sporadic content that we sometimes make. Sorry, carry on. I interrupted.
No, that's okay. So, yeah, thank you for joining our first episode. It's the very beginning of our journey.
Exciting.
Yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to the things that we're going to be talking about, and just seeing how many people are going to, join us on our journey.
It's just going to be fun. Also, from our point of view, we have these chats anyway, so we might as well film it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
It'll be interesting for us to look back on, and
Yeah, I think that
it would
was-
be nice if even like this is such a thing that like anybody who posts any sort of content says. It's like, if I can help even one person, like, do you know what I mean? But it's so true. Like, if even one person relates to anything we say like that, it would be so cool.
I think it's also sort of important to us as well in the way that obviously I already have my first child, but when we both have our families that we've built and grown,
Not for a while yet.
and our children are growing up, they can look back on these conversations that we're having as well, and it could help them in different times in their lives too. I think it's just nice to not forget about the things that we're going through now. It's such it's such a big part of our lives, so
And it'll be because we've always been so close in age, we can always be each other's sounding board as we've been growing up. But I think it might be nice for our sister to listen to when she turns this age, because at that point we'll be way older. We'll be like, oh, you're so young still. Ugh. It's easy. But like, you forget how hard it is at each age milestone you're at. So yeah, maybe she'll relate to us more through this than when she actually hits this age.
Yeah, I mean, when she's my age now,
You'll be 30.
I'll be 30, so
Old.
yeah.
Lol.
So I think we'll wrap it up.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. If you've made it all the way this far through,
there. Well done.
love that from you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
But yeah, go and follow us if you want to, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, and if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment any suggestions or thoughts or anything you think.
And subscribe.
I think. Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Subscribe. And then I think we're releasing the podcast on Spotify. Pretty sure you can comment on there as well.
I don't know, actually.
I'm pretty sure some of the podcasts that I listen to you can comment on. So if you can, go for it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed our little intro episode.
Yeah.
It has been way more productive than the ones we tried to film before.
It has. It's gone really well.
Thanks to you.
So we'll see you next time.
Bye.